Mm. Hello, goddesses. Welcome. I am talking about money, sex, and magic. And of course, I'm in the car because I am also living that amazing football lifestyle, right? It's football season, and both my boys are playing football. And so, occasionally the schedule clashes, and I have to be here 5 days a week. So anyway, I figured this would be a good time to talk to you guys about this subject and my new program. So I am hoping let's try it again. So what I was doing was waiting for the airplane to go by because I'm not far from an airport. So anyway, we're here to talk about sex, money, and magic, and a new mini journey that I have available called the Magical Vixen Journey. And so the journey is about money, sex, magic, sex, money, manifesting, and magic. It's a little bit about sex too, because it is about our sexuality and how you use that, right, in your manifestations. So I want to explain to you and to talk to you about how tapping into your divine feminine energy, your sensuality, the essence of who you are, without the trauma, without the drama, without the hurt, without, the angry, misunderstood, ignored shadow, all of those things. When you remove those things and you remember that you are divine, you remember that you are the source of creation, manifesting gets easier. It's easier because you remember that it comes from you, that it starts from you. As a woman, right, we have the option to give life, to carry a child. As that child forms and develops and all of those things, and then we birth that human being into existence. And we, in essence, do the same things with all of our desires. Our desires, just like that child, starts from that sensual, sexual energy of, divine lovemaking, sometimes not so divine, but you know what I'm saying. When you're in that sensual, sexual energy, airplane, that sensual, sexual energy is fertile ground for manifesting, right? And so then we're fertile and we're feeling sexual and sensual and alive. And so then the seed gets planted, right? Our desire, because we are in the midst of the desire is ignited. The seed can be planted because the desire is there. And then we carry this baby till it is fully formed, and then we birth it out and basically gift it to the world. So I'm trying to see if this has like I was trying to see if it had like a lighting situation. I can't close it now. That would help you guys see me better. Yes, cancel. Now I don't even know like what I'm doing here. Okay. And so that is the process for all of our manifestations and desires, right? When we start to desire something, damn if this is not main plane traffic time. When we start to desire something, the desire is ignited, and even if you're not aware of it, it's very similar to the energy of sensuality and sexuality, because that desire feels good. It makes you open. It puts you in the energy and the feeling of being receptive. And then you can hone in on the desire and you plant the seed. This is what I want. This is how I want it. Now you have it, right? You've got the seed like you would have the baby in your stomach. And so now all of those inspired actions and those different things that you do, like sending out the emails, calling the people, coming on YouTube, posting on social media if you have a business, or going to that business meeting, being in the right place at the right time helps with all of that. Like, and it bubbles. It feeds that desire so that that baby can grow, so that that idea can grow, so that that desire grows. All of the actions that you have pretty much feed and nurture. All of the inspired actions that you take feeds and nurtures that desire, and your desire being like that fetus that you're carrying with you in your womb. So when it's ready and it is completed and we go into labor, and labor is not as glamorous as the movies would like us to believe. And it doesn't really even project it to be that glamorous, but it's definitely a process, somewhat painful, a little scary, because you're not really sure how intense it's going to be, how much you're going to be able to handle. You don't know. You don't know if you're going to have the pain in your back or the contractions are going to be up front in the uterus. You don't know all the time if the baby's going to come out with ease or if they're going to have to go in there with forceps. There are things that we can do that makes the birthing process easier. So just like in the real birthing process, there are things that we can do to make the birthing process of our desires a lot easier. You've heard about women who go in and be like, oh, I labored for like an hour and, what have you. So here's the truth to that, because I've had 8 kids. I've had all but 2 of them at home. Even when women will say, I had easy birth, right? The birth itself could have been easy, right? I've had quote unquote easy births. My birthing process is just as long as other women's birthing processes. So women go check themselves in the hospital. And so they know, like, I was in labor 16 hours, blah, 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 blah. So here's the thing about that. Because you checked into the hospital, you felt the contraction, you called the doctor, and you knew the contraction came at 4, and you didn't give birth until 10:30 at night, right? Or at midnight, then you have all of these hours to track, because you were in the hospital, they were tracking you, etc. When you are in a home situation, you don't necessarily track the time. It's like, oh, contraction, the first one. They start to get closer together, but you're home and you're able to move around and you're able to do things. And it's like, this is getting painful. And so when the contraction hits, you stop what you're doing and you breathe through it. And then you keep going. And so by the time I can't keep going, or you can't keep going, and you're ready to push, you could very well only need to push 2 or 3 times, right? And that pushing maybe takes 30 minutes, if that. And so it's considered an easy birth. The lady who went to the hospital, she's laid up in the bed. They won't let her move. She's in pain. She's not in her own bed. She's like, so there's all of these other triggers and things going on, right? And so it's still a process. It's still labor. The baby still gets here. Your desire still shows up. But it's fucking hard. And it's not comfortable. And neither scenarios is it pleasurable. But in one scenario, you feel it, you breathe through it, you may even have some help to breathe through it, and then you physically continue to move and do what needs to be done. And those things that you're doing helps with that labor. Whereas at the hospital, you're not moving around. You don't have somebody rubbing your back who knows and who's been trained to remind you to breathe, etc., through it all. And so it's nothing but pain and torture the entire time, right? How would you rather birth your desires? I personally would rather birth my desires in a home situation. And I'm sharing this because I've just birthed a new program, but I've realized through this process that I had been birthing my desires, not all of them, but the ones, airplane, not all of them, but the ones that were quote unquote still large to me, I was birthing them very much like I was giving birth in a hospital. Excuse me. So I was like, I gotta cut this out. I need to birth it naturally. I need to be in tune with the desire. I need to know it is time. And just as I prepare myself mentally and physically and emotionally, because they're still crying, not the same kind, there's still pain, there's still some adjustments. Every labor is different. I've done it 9 times. It's still more comfortable at home. Okay? So I want to birth. You can't, there's certain things about birth, birthing your manifestations that you have to go through. But it doesn't have to be clinically controlled, out of sync with with who you are, right? And your intuition and your goddessness, your divine feminine energy. It doesn't have to be out of tune with that. As a matter of fact, if you do it and you stay in tune with that, it comes easier. And it's like, whew, whew. All right, here we go, right? And you are able to be cognizant of, what's going on, make the decisions, and get in there and enjoy the process so that you're willing and ready to do it again. So how do we do that, right? Now that you kind of You have the analogy. It took me 15 minutes to get here. Thanks for holding on. But how do we get to that? How do we get to getting into alignment with the birthing process of your desires so that it is not chaotic, it is not painful and emotionally crippling? Because literally that's what I was doing. And so part of that is going on a journey. There's a fly trying to come in here. Part of that is definitely going on a journey, and that's why this mini program is called The Journey, right? It is the Magical Vixen Journey. The Magical Vixen is, by the way, you guys can join for free. You get 8 days free. It is the Magical Vixen Temple. If you'd like to become a Magical Vixen, it is basically a school of magic for women who want to tap into their divine feminine energy and express their goddesshood and manifest and do magic from that place of empowerment. That's what the Magical Vixen Temple is for, right? It's for women who want to be magic, live magic, create from a place of magic. So you can get in there. The first 8 days are free. There's no obligation. You can cancel it at any time. Right now, until the 1st, it is, if you join before the 1st, you get grandfathered in on the monthly membership fee. So the monthly membership fee during pre-launch is $33 a month. By the end of the year, it will go to its regular price, which is $55. So during pre-launch, it's $33. After the 1st, when we're in official launch, it will be $44. And you still get those initial 8 days because I want you to get in there and see, we have over 60 categories of magic we're teaching on. We have 10 main focuses of magic that are taught on every single month. And magic and manifesting. And, see what's in there. Check out my style. Check out the topics. Make sure that they're aligned with you. And then you can proceed. So during launch, it'll be $44 a month after your trial period. And then when launch ends through the holidays, you could get in for $55. At whatever rate you get in, you stay grandfathered in as long as you're a member. If your membership dies or cancels, then you come back in at the regular price, which will be $88.88 per month. So this mini journey is, I'm right in the path of the airport. This mini journey is for those people who know that they're magical, right? Those women who know you're magical, who want to live a magical life, who want to know how to be magical, who are looking at these people around them who are living these cookie cutter lives. Like right now, legitimately, I'm sitting in this parking lot and I'm watching these women drop off their kids to soccer, to baseball. My kid went to football, right? But there's something different about me. And all of us have something unique. But a lot of people around us are trying to hide that. They're doing more work to fit in than to stand out. And so if you realize you were born to stand out, right? Because, and I tell my kids this all the time, you don't want to fit in. Like, if you fit in, then everybody's the same. If God wanted everybody to be the same, he would have made everybody the same. He made you different so that you could stand out and stand up and be seen and be noticed and be heard, because you have something special that the world needs. So if you feel that way, right, this is a really good journey for you to take. If you are asking and are willing to ask, like, the deep questions, how do I manifest at will? How can I conjure what I want as if I'm fucking magic. Like I live in the movies, right? How do you do that? And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. I'm going to get there. But when you are asking the deep questions, when you are willing to go deep, when you are willing to say, all of the shit that happened to me, right, doesn't get to define me. I am who I am. That shit contributed to me in some way. I'm willing to go back, look at what are the lessons I needed to learn, take the lessons, thank that energy, move on, embody who it is that I am meant to be with those lessons so that I can show up and be my most authentic self. It is not easy. It's not easy. And things show up to challenge us, not because God is challenging you, not because you have to prove your worthiness, but because we are not perfect. And so we manifest and create blocks and crazy things because we think we have to prove our worthiness, because we think we have to do this first, because we believe that this is the way it's supposed to be. I have to work hard. I have to earn it. You really don't, right? Those are things that we're creating. So when you go deep and you realize, like, I'm creating this, and I'm creating this from a place of X, Y, and Z. One of those things, while I'm birthing this, right, this amazing, magical Vixen temple. This has been, how old is my son? He's 9, probably 8 years in the making. It's not done. It's not even close to done. But I finally, right, birthed it to where it can be seen. I've been holding on to this phantom desire, not really letting it grow, not even really letting my belly grow. And then this year I couldn't help it. My belly started to show. Like, this is who you are. This is what needs to be done. And then I had this whole, series of things, and I have all of these classes that need to be produced, and my sons start football and accidentally knocks my tooth out with the helmet. The tooth was fragile. It had cracked on 4th of July. But 2 weeks later, he hit it, it shattered. Fucking toothless. Got a little baby stub tooth. And so, yes, I can go get it fixed. I do have plans to get it fixed, but I was already getting some other work done. And my birthing process really was, what is this really about? Right? What is my lesson here? Because you see, what I have to say, what I have to share is more important than how I look and the lack of this fucking tooth. And anybody who can't stand to look at me because I'm missing a tooth is missing the message, right? They're missing their blessing. But I had to know that. And for a long time, I didn't. I had to know that. And I had to be willing to show up anyway. And I had to be willing to keep pushing. Because that was a hell of a labor pain. And it happened on a Friday during a moon circle. And at a time when I had to make a large payment, like in less than 24 hours. Like, I was shattered. So, how do you show up and do the work through the birth of your manifestation in alignment? You got to get in alignment. You have to know that what you're doing and the work you're doing is enough, that you're enough. You have to do the work so that you know you're enough. You have to show up, and you have to be willing to show up no matter what. You have to be willing to sometimes go really, really deep. Deep in the sense of what has happened in the past, releasing things that you've been holding on to, releasing cycles, releasing stories. You don't even have to go into the why it happened, but there is something you do have to let it go. You have to be willing to acknowledge your own bullshit. When you can acknowledge your bullshit and then go, that's my bullshit, I do that shit, I'm not doing that shit anymore, you can move forward and have your manifestation. You have to work on belief. You have to realize that belief and fear are basically the same damn thing, right? It's the belief in something that hasn't happened yet. It's having faith in something that hasn't happened yet. The difference is you have faith in something that hasn't happened, but you're using that faith for belief, you're going to get it, right? You believe it's coming. If you're using that faith for fear, you believe it's not coming. It's the same thing. You have faith in something that is unknown. Either you think it's coming or you think it's not coming. If you're in fear, you think it's not coming. And it won't while you're in fear. And a lot of times that right there, and it's something that we really go deep into during the Vixen journey, is because when you're in labor and you start to freak out, like this baby's never coming out of me, right? They will have to damn near put you to sleep to get that baby out. They really, really will. But if you know it's coming, and you know you're going to be stretched, and you know you're going to be pulled, and etc., you relax into it, and you allow yourself to be stretched, and you allow yourself to feel the pressure and push, and it's okay. So getting through your fear versus your belief or your faith, understanding how to eliminate the fear allows for your manifestation to come. It allows you to do the work to bring the manifestation through. Because when you're stuck in fear, you're not moving. You're not doing anything. When you're stuck in belief, right? When you're having the faith that it's coming, you're moving and you're taking those inspired actions and you're doing the things that are going to make your labor and the delivery of your desires show up. So I hope that's making sense, because that was not the analogy that I had prepared, but that is what came through. So that is a big part of the journey. The journey is 4 weeks, right? And a lot of people are still having to birth money, right, on an ongoing basis. And so that's why I wanted to talk about money, magic, and manifesting. Because a lot of us are, even in our manifesting, we're doing contingent manifesting. We're doing delayed manifestations. We are, so for example, I'll buy that when I lose weight. When I get a husband, then I'm gonna do this. If my boyfriend says, then it's okay for me. It's that type of thing, right? You're pushing it off instead of saying, I can have it right now. So one of the other things that we do is work on how you are creating the delay in your manifestations. Because you are. When you can get into the feeling place of having it right now, it can manifest instantaneously. You you, as you are today, can learn to have instant manifestations. There will be things you have to let go of, and there will be new beliefs, and you will have to shift and change your paradigm, but you can do it, and you can do it in a short period of time, which is why the journey is only 4 weeks, and it is transformational, because it's going to reveal to you what the issues are. It's going to fucking break those issues down. So you start on this journey, you go through transformation, and you end in embodiment, because in 4 weeks from today, right, after you have started this journey and you've transformed, you will be embodying this magical vixen that you are. What does that look like? There's no defining it. It doesn't mean that you're going to look and talk like me. It means that you get to decide what you want to be, how you want to be, look, feel, what you want to have. We're going to design together your whole life and lifestyle. And then I'm going to show you how to literally start birthing each one of those things. Now, if you've been following me on YouTube, you guys may have seen, like, from having a great house in a great community, to living in a hotel because they sold my house, to, which was so basically homeless, and then moving to a house that was over 8,000 square feet. It was like seven something. I think it was close to 8,000 square feet. And then moving into another very large house, which other people in my life call quote unquote mansions, right? Because they fit the description of a mansion, although in my mind, very far, far, far from what I would consider a mansion. But they were by definition. From one to another, to different lifestyles, even to be able to thrive during COVID. Now I've got a whole other slew of things that I'm manifesting, and I will be showing a lot of that. I show that a lot more in my courses than I have been on YouTube lately, but I will be showing you guys all of those things. I've just decided to do it instead of showing you as it's happening. There's a little bit of a delay. So like now, if I start now, you'll start to see the things that have been manifested and how my life has transformed and all of the amazing things that are going on in it through this process, right? And if you are someone who needs and wants and desires name brand purses and shoes and wardrobes and things like that, you can manifest that lifestyle. You don't have to be worthy. You don't have to justify it if that's your thing. It happens not to be my thing. But it also doesn't mean I don't have it. Like, I have a few, but I don't feel like I need a lot. It's just not necessary because of how I've decided to live, right? The lifestyle that I live doesn't necessarily warrant that. Now, as my lifestyle has started to grow, a couple of those other things would be really nice. So you'll see them more luxurious in terms of label brand things showing up. But again, it's not my thing. Like I always tell people, like, I'm not a name brand whore. You know what I mean? Like, you could be a whore about a lot of different things, which is not a bad thing. To me, it's not said as a bad thing. But I'm definitely not a name brand whore. So I don't really care. If I like it, I like it. I don't care how much it costs, whether it was $2 or $22,000. If I like it, I like it, period. Right? I'm not in the energy of allowing status or I can't really be told, like, this is the thing to have because that means that you've got it. Fuck you. Like, I got it because I like it. Like, but that again, that's my energy. That is who I am. That is my goddess energy. Like, if I go to the dollar store and they got something that I think is cute, I got all of them, right? And I don't care that they cost $1. You might, but that's some shit you got to work on within you. Because I'm only surrounded around by things that I love, regardless of where they come from. So because I don't watch TV and a lot of other things, it's even harder for me to, and my children, to be swayed as to this is the thing to have, in order to have this status, because we're not buying into it and we're not being fed it every day. So October is coming. October 1st, you're going to hear about this goddess cleanse that is going to combine my 7-day mental diet, my juice cleanse, and my smoothie cleanse, along with a week of raw food. Because when your manifestations are blocked, when things are really, really not going, and you're doing everything that you think that you need to be doing, and it's not working, you probably need to cleanse. So you can spend a week, and really it's 2 weeks, because we're going to do a week of prep videos, and then we're going to show up live every day, once a day. And there's a fly in here. Child, that's energy, because I am nowhere near where there should be flies. But that's when you carry Florida water in your car. So whatever energy that is has got to go, right? So now so if you guys want to join me in that, make sure you're on my mailing list. You can do that by going to the website. And tomorrow, the sign up will be released for that. But what I'm really here to talk to you guys about is the magical Vixen journey and that manifesting process, and learning how to manifest using your magic and creating this new relationship with money. So currently, I think I started off with 8 spaces. I think I have 5. There may only be 4 spaces left right now. If you are interested, and if you have ever wanted to work with me, like, things only get better and better, right? You get a full 30 days access to the Vixen Temple. So you do have access to all of that. It's included for that first 30 days, and then you'll have to join. But you can join at the $33 a month. We're going to meet one-on-one every week for 4 weeks. You're going to get training every week for 4 weeks, a recorded training. You are going to have play sheets and journal prompts, and we are going to do some live ceremonies, magical ceremonies, goddess ceremonies. We are going to be doing some releasing. I'm going to teach you some very spiritually based manifestation techniques, some shamanic healing techniques. Like, you are going to go through a huge transformation in a very short period of time, and it will be worth it. And especially right now, because it's right before the holidays, and a lot of people didn't get to be with family during holidays last year. And so this may be the first year back, and you want to be new. You want to come and show up authentically as you. You don't want to be stressed. You want to leave anxiety behind. You want to get rid of all of those things. This is it. Okay? So I've at least 4 spaces in this moment as I'm recording this live available. Payment plans are available. Well, one payment plan. So you can pay in full, or you can take the payment plan over the 30 days. But I really, if I can handle more people at once, I would do it. but I also want to make sure that that you get your transformation. So we keep this very, very small. And which is an app that you would download. You can talk to me all throughout the day as you're working on these things. And if you're hitting issues and you don't know what to do, in real time, you will have access to me. So it's intense, but it's wonderful and it's transformational. And I really hope that you can join me on this journey along with a handful of other women. I may not do this again before the new year. So this is probably the only journey we're going to do before the holidays start. So if you're interested, text me 571-888, because you guys know I love all those eights, 5191. 571-888-5191. Join me. I have the spaces. It's first come, first serve. We can, there are payment options for you. And if you would like to know more about the Magical Vixen temple, I will put that link under this video, but I believe it's magicalvixentemple.LaMeel.com. So if you guys have any questions, I'm not going to do questions live, but if you post questions, I will definitely answer all of your questions, and you can catch me on Instagram in probably about 20 minutes. I'm going to be doing a breakdown of this program, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about birthing your desires over there. Love you guys.